everybody. Welcome back to the Youtini Show, your one-stop shop for all things going on in Star Wars. I'm Eric here tonight with Wes and Jacob, and we got a bunch to get into, as always. This week, Andor began its Emmy campaign with 4 wins and some heartbreaking snubs. We got our first excerpt from Adam Christopher's Master of Evil. Darth Vader's lightsaber broke an insane record, and Inkstone announced that they are bringing Yoda Dark Rendezvous to readers, and you can get it early exclusively with Youtini. We'll tell you more in a bit. But to start us off tonight, we have a bit of a bittersweet celebration. While the main primetime Emmy Awards may not be until later this week, the Creative Arts Emmys were celebrated this past weekend, honoring some of the categories that we won't see during the broadcast. This included 11 of the 14 Andor nominations, and the incredible series came home with only 4. Obviously, any award is fantastic, but fellas, let me ask you for your initial reactions to these wins and losses. Does it prove that Star Wars will truly never get over this hurdle?
I'm gonna say yes, because this was
so depressing, Wes.
Yes, this was our Super Bowl right here. This is what we were gonna do. This was what Star Wars was gonna get on top of everybody, and not literally. Well, maybe hopefully.
Whoa.
But yeah, this was our one big shot, because Andor was amazing, and I don't think that we're gonna have any kind of backing or. I talked about this last week. Maybe they do one a year, but because they're going to be putting all their efforts towards the films and cinematic movies, then I don't think we're going to get anything like Andor again. But I hope I'm wrong.
All right.
Yeah.
Jacob, what do you think?
Downer. No, I mean, I think I kind of agree to a certain point. Like, this was obviously like Star Wars's best shot at critical acclaim for any show that they're going to put out probably in the near future. It went up against a gauntlet, and I think as was last year when White Lotus won like every freaking award.
Yeah, and they're nominated for another everything, like all like
yeah,
7 of
it's
the 12
like
supporting or something like that.
I think, like, for better or worse, I think you kind of have to accept that like the shows with HBO tags or these bigger like premiere like Apple TV Plus tags are always going to probably be better equipped to win these awards, whether that's on merit or not. That's kind of what it is. I'll be honest, I love Severance. I'm okay with it winning some awards over Andor, even though I loved Andor 2. But it is what it is. I can still like a thing, and even though it doesn't get a shiny award, I'm still gonna like it. So
absolutely.
I also like Severance. It's a really good show.
Severance bangs.
We love Severance bangs. Now, if you did miss the awards that Andor won, I will say is a pretty good list. I'll say it's pretty short. It's pretty easy. They're all pretty expected, I think, as well. We got outstanding fantasy sci-fi costumes. This has been won before by like Ahsoka, things like that. So really great, because there were like hundreds of costumes and thousands of costumes this season. So that was great. Outstanding picture editing for a drama series. That's pretty big. Editing for all dramas across the board. Outstanding production design. Again, a usual Star Wars award. And visual effects. Also a very Star Wars award. Now, the ones we lost. There's a couple, like we said, Severance fans. We lost cinematography, music composition, best score, which is rough, and then sound mixing. Those were all the Severance losses. The character voiceover performance was my most tickled one. That was the Alan Tudyk K2 nomination. You lost to Julie Andrews and Bridgerton, and you know what? It's Mary Poppins, man.
Yeah.
What can you do, right? Like, she is a god. She's literally royalty, I think. Isn't it Dame Judy Andrews? Julie Andrews?
Mm-hmm. You might be thinking of Dame Judi Dench, but also I would totally believe it at the same time. Yeah.
Julie Andrews. Has she not been knighted? Or Dame Julie Andrews. Okay, yeah,
yep.
I was right.
Okay, we're good.
I was going to say, that would be way worse than the Emmy snub if Dame Julie Andrews wasn't a knight. Or whatever the order of the British fakery is. Forrest Whitaker unfortunately lost most loud guest actor, I think it was the category, to our guy from The Pit. But the most devastating loss of the night, according to Tony Gilroy himself, was that we lost outstanding original music and lyrics for We Are the Gore. This was the national anthem. That was huge. And we lost to Let's Put the Christ Back in Christmas from The Boys. I haven't watched The Boys, guys. I'll acknowledge it. But like, come on.
Dude, Avenue Q is up 1 million right now. I did watch that season, and it's like a Muppets parody, like just
Okay, that's
black
pretty
comedy
good.
kind of type thing. It's
That's pretty good.
kind of crazy. It did not leave any lasting impression on me to the point where I thought it would win an Emmy. But
Yeah. Over We Are the Gore.
yeah. The
It's a bummer.
Gorman's always taking L's, unfortunately.
Seriously, the whole thing was remember Gorman, and they're like, no,
We will not.
We absolutely will not actually, and we are going to do the quite literal opposite. I don't know. I will say I thought that was going to win. I thought cinematography had a chance. I thought some of the sound stuff had a chance just because that's always up in the air. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that there's a possibility that the viewership of Andor hurt it, as in the lack of viewership from voters? Like, there's been an issue with the Oscars for years of people not watching everything very publicly. Emmys, I'm sure watching everything is hard, even though that's literally their job. Do you think that outside of like the visual effects people, some folks just were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch the Star Wars thing for like I don't want to do that," or do you think we're at least past that?
Let me ask you this: for the voting, for the people who are actually doing the votes, do they do you get a clean slate? Do they have to do they get to watch everything over again, or do they just have to know off of past knowledge of them watching it? Like, is there boss overseeing them watch the show and be like, I need you.
Only.
Yeah.
I need
You need to be
to
jiggling.
vote on
You need
this.
to jiggle your mouse
Yes.
while you're watching Andor, so I know you're active on Teams. I don't know this award show specifically. Usually, voters get like packages, like they're getting like actual discs with these shows on them that are kind of rare, and then like they're giving you every opportunity to watch it.
Okay.
There's typically no requirement that they do, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll do now like there are digital screeners like password protected stuff, but a lot of the times as well they're nominating individual episodes. So it's not that with the Sound of Andor, it's they picked the Who Are You episode 8. So with Star Wars, I think that's also a little tough because if you're dropped right in the middle of it, although if you do that with Severance, I would argue you're way more confused. Again, no hate to Severance. We love Severance. Don't start in the middle. I think it's tough. I hope that everyone did. I hope there's an honor system of Emmy voters, but, life is life. I think the bigger question is what we've been saying for months, what we've been saying since the show was on, is how does this affect the future of Star Wars? Obviously, they put a lot of money into this ad campaign. We got the zine that came out recently that cost money. There's been a lot of ad spots on the YouTube channel, the Twitter. Like, they've actually been promoting this quite a lot. And it seems like, unfortunately, it didn't really move the needle in most of these categories. I think that you could argue that the sci-fi costumes, the production design, and effects are kind of guaranteed without a single dollar of Emmy campaigning spent. I don't know. Do you think that the marketing is in trouble, or do you think this might just be, we're actually going to try to market Star Wars forever now? Like, can we hope that that at least sticks around?
That I hope so, for sure. Yeah, because, but it all, I think it all just has to do with how good the next project does, whether it be movie, whether it be video game release, whether it be new book release, anything on that. But, you got to put your money, put your money where your mouth is, right? So, like, if you are trying to push, like we see this Emmy award here, or any kind of prestigious honor, like you have to get the project or the content out in front of their face. And if they don't actually see it, then they don't want to see it. Like, you can make somebody watch a movie or make somebody watch a TV show, but they're not going to be like completely consumed with it, or they're not actually going to pay attention, even if they are watching it. So you have to have the right people there. But I think this could
Clockwork Orange some of these folks in the future, just put the things on the eyes and just like.
I'm saying this about Star Wars, but this can go around with any of these TV shows. So I'm not trying to be biased just for Star Wars, but it can be said for a lot of these shows. I hope the marketing campaigns can increase, but I don't think we're going to see a TV show where along the lines of Emmy nominated any longer. Or if we do, it'll be Emmy nominated, but they won't win anything. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough. Like, there's been one sci-fi fantasy product that was critically super successful at this stage, and that's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like, nothing really in the past 25 years beyond that has really swept or done super well at awards outside, like, the ones you mentioned that are kind of the gimmies. But this whole conversation could be completely just made moot later this week if we somehow steal, like, if Diego Luna somehow wins best male actor lead, then we're like, okay, this whole thing just doesn't matter anymore. I guess, like, the way I think about it is, there is that mountain to climb that I don't know that marketing dollars will ever surpass. You'll never be able to, like, dig yourself out of that hole when it comes to winning awards. But part of it is also, does that really matter? Is that what the person greenlighting the show cares about, or do they just want to see more people subscribe to Disney Plus? It's probably that one. For better or worse. I don't know if I like how that affects the product, but, like, that's probably what they care about. More so than spending money to win a couple trophies, even though they like those two.
And if this continues, you could just market it as the best TV show that hasn't won an award. The best TV show that hasn't won an Emmy, and just keep.
Dude, I mean, they'll run those ads and be like, "Look at this Rotten Tomato score." Like that's a thing that happens. Yeah. They're happy to do that.
Reporter gave out the, like, should win. Like, they said Ben Mendelsohn should win and Diego Luna should have been nominated. Like, they're still pounding the drum for Andor, which is, I think, encouraging. Although my conspiracy theory is that after Ahsoka Season 2, we're never seeing live-action Star Wars TV ever again. But we'll see what happens there, depending on the films. Because I think that we're going to see how the money leaves there. And speaking of the films, though, I do want to give a quote from Simon Kinberg, who we may remember from months ago, was announced to be working on the next Star Wars trilogy, episodes 10, 11, and 12, potentially. He did say, quote, "I was super inspired and just sort of awestruck by what Tony Gilroy did with Andor. I thought that was about as good of science fiction storytelling as you can do in any franchise." So the fact that the people inside that are making the Star Wars are watching Andor and being like, that is the peak, that's what we want, I think is good news, at least. So hopefully, if Andor is not going to be on Disney Plus anymore, if Andor level storytelling isn't going to go for the Emmys, if you can put that level of storytelling on my big screen with my AMC Stubs popcorn, that's better. Great. And then I think it has hopefully done its job. So stay tuned this week. On the 14th, we do have the main primetime Emmys. If you're like any other normal American, just follow along online and see when the winners get posted. No shade to the Emmys, but, there's clips for a reason.
Dude, I saw the post this weekend, and I'm like, are the Emmys happening right now? Am I living on
Creative arts are so odd because they're like, oh, these are. No, they're all the same. They're good. No, these are literally the lesser awards. They're like, we are not going to put a TV show on for them. Here you go. So keep an eye out. Again, Best Drama Series is definitely up, but the fact that we lost to Severance 3 different times already does not bode well. All right, everybody, I want to take a quick second to let you know that this week's episode is brought to you by Inkstone Books, a new sponsor, and their upcoming release of Yoda Dark Rendezvous from the Essential Legends collection. Yoda Dark Rendezvous will continue Inkstone's tradition of bringing back some of our favorite Legends books in exclusive, gorgeous hardcovers the way that only Inkstone can provide. Each copy of Yoda Dark Rendezvous will feature custom hardcover foiling, sprayed edges, and will be signed and numbered. Supplies are limited, and as a listener of Youtini, you'll have exclusive access 2 days before the general release to make sure you get your copy. On September 20th, be sure to head over to inkstonebooks.com and secure your copy by using code YOUTINIYODA. But the O's are zeros, the I's are ones, and it ends with an exclamation point. So that is code capital Y 0 UT 1 N 1 capital Y 0 DA exclamation point. Now don't worry, we'll have more info on our site as well as our newsletter, which will include the spelling to make sure you can grab this incredible edition. Thank you so much to Inkstone for their partnership, and be sure to grab your copy of Yoda Dark Rendezvous on September 20th. And now, back to the show. Now, after looking at the past, let's go ahead and take a glimpse at the future, guys, because we got our first look at Adam Christopher's upcoming Master of Evil, not fear, evil, last week in the form of an excerpt. Polygon's preview took us inside Palpatine, or rather Darth Sidious's office, as he and Vader discussed the secrets of the dark side, with Palpatine reminding us once and for all why he is the true master of the Sith. Guys, what did we think about this first scene? Any thoughts?
Well,
Lukewarm,
uh,
cold,
I'm
hot.
gonna be totally honest. I have not read this excerpt because I'm already so hyped for this book. I don't need to read anymore.
Okay, that's fair. I like the recovery. Wes, are you also gonna take that excuse?
No, actually, I read the second sentence of the excerpt,
Yes!
so I'm a little bit more prepared than Jacob here. And he said that he was talking about bleeding a kyber crystal, and I thought that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So that's I will say, Jacob, not reading the excerpt because you're hyped is fine because you are our resident comic sicko. If
That's
y'all
true.
haven't listened every week to the Cosmic Force, Jacob is a lovely host on there. There's our comic show of the Youtini network. And this excerpt I thought was great for you because it did mention the business on Mustafar and the stuff with the kyber crystal bleeding and things that we have seen in the Darth Vader comics. I think, Jacob, aren't there roughly about 840 canon Vader comics by this point?
I think closer to 850. Thank you.
Okay,
But no,
great. Yes, right.
Eric is of course referring to the Charles Soule series, which I think was 25 issues, maybe with an annual or two, and it's really good. And a lot of people were kind of a little scared because when this book was announced, Master of Fear, that is, or Master of Evil.
There you go. Yeah,
you got
it's
me.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people worried that like how's this gonna work with the comics, and it seems like it's gonna work really well. And Adam Christopher's like made some references. He's like, oh no, I'm aware. We got it. We got it worked out. So I'm very excited. Those comics are great, and if this kind of can play along with that, well, it's gonna be a great book.
Yeah, it seems really exciting, and this excerpt really showed that. Again, he has the reference for the material that came first. I think that for some reason that does seem to be a continual conversation. I think earlier on in canon, in some books, it was a little dicey, depending on what you read, on what was allowed and acknowledged. But lately, I've seen a lot of the books are really taking that to heart, and you can see how much Adam Christopher loves this era. And really loves the back and forth between Vader and Palpatine. I think the last time we really got a prose version of this was like Lord of the Sith, way back in the day with Paul Kemp. So I'm excited to get their interplay back. And I guess I want to ask you guys, what is it about dark side lore that you think fascinates us so much? Because obviously Shadow of the Sith was Adam Christopher's last huge novel. He really tried to go into the dark side lore, even with like the dagger and all that kind of stuff. Like, what is it about how the dark side works that makes us so interested as readers, especially?
I think especially with canon, it just outs like you always have like you have the saga, which is you have so many Jedi and so many like good things out there, and then the evil, the dark side is super hyper concentrated, and we don't always get, like you said, we don't always get storytelling very often that covers that part of
Yeah.
the I guess franchise. So when we do get something, that's pretty cool. Also, it's just it's metal. It's sick.
That is it's just metal.
It attracts the normies, and that's fine. Like Darth Vader, when it's a comic, is always like constantly one of Marvel's top 10 sellers, regardless of whether or not it's the most entertaining Star Wars comic out right now. It's just people get hyped for it.
Yeah. It's like not the fear of the unknown, but it's like the wanting to know what's going on because you don't know what's going on, just like Jacob was talking about. You don't know how it all works, but it works somehow. And always, it's usually in a way you're not thinking about. Whereas, with the Force and Jedi and the light side, kind of, how all that works. And you're just like, oh, okay, good guys, but the bad guys, the metal guys, they're the ones that can do. They have no boundaries, right? They can do whatever they want. And they can figure out these interactive and these very like elaborate schemes and ways to use the Force that you haven't seen before, and that way they have, like I said, they have no boundaries, so it could be anything, which is one of the reasons why I think why a lot of people are fascinated with the Sith, because as I harp back on what Jacob said, you don't know a lot about it. You don't know a lot. Yeah. We have more knowledge about the light side in the Jedi than we do the Sith, I think.
Oh, definitely. And I think that one of the cool things about this book, if you haven't been following along with the coverage or haven't read a lot of the comics, this is Anakin E. Vader, right? This is post episode 3. He's still kind of getting used to being Vader. And for folks that may not know a lot about how vicious Palpatine and Vader's relationship got, I think this book will be great. Like, we see, Palpatine lying to Anakin, yes, but he Lord Vader, are you all right? Like, oh my God, help him at the end of episode 3. That is not Sidious, right? He is evil and harsh to Vader. And this excerpt, I think, does a really great job of showing us that. He puts Vader in his place a little bit. They talk about it. He kind of eggs him on about being sad about Padme's death. There's some Force lightning happening. Ooh. There's some really cool demonstrations of the sinister evil of Palpatine. So if you've just been a book reader and haven't really gotten a lot of their relationship before, that is shown a little more in the comics. It's a little more blatant. But I think this book will be a really good opener. And if you do want to check that out, again, go over to the site, youtini.com. We put up a little bit of a preview for the excerpt as well as a link to the full thing. But regardless, you're going to want to get your order in for this book. I do regret to inform you. Let me double check this. I think...
Don't tell me it's sold out.
Yeah, the Inkstone I think is already sold out.
I got my copy secured.
Yes,
it.
sir. There you go. There's a wait list you can go up on to see if they have extra copies with that gorgeous lightsaber on the side. My gosh. But I think this is just one of those books I think that's going to feel like an event. A big old Vader book right around, the holidays. It's coming out later on in the year. So check out the excerpt if you want. Get some evil in your life. Not that we need more of that right now, but check it out and have some fun with it. And make sure to get your pre-orders in for Master of Evil before it goes on sale later this year. All right, speaking of Vader, his actual lightsaber broke a seemingly insurmountable record last week as well. At an auction in Los Angeles, the actual lightsaber used in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi sold for over $3.6 million. This became the highest price piece of Star Wars memorabilia ever sold. And to put that in perspective, Harrison Ford's whip, belt, and holster from Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade sold for $485,000 at the same auction. So let me start with the easy question. Wes, why did you spend your vast personal fortune on this lightsaber?
Here's the thing. If I had $3.6 million, $3.6 million to spend on anything, it would probably be Vader's lightsaber because I had more money to spend on other stuff, Like, if you're buying movie prop that's $3.6 million, you have the funds to I don't want to say waste, but to invest. You have the funds to invest. And who knows? Yes. I mean, it's probably appreciating right now, and they're going to sell it, in 10 years, and it'll be $10 million. You never know.
Oh, God. No love of the game. No love of the game from Wes here. My gosh. Here. Throw us to the side. We got a picture of this thing, too.
Oh, that's right.
Throw us to the little side view. Yeah. Look at that. The white glove treatment
gloves
for this.
Yes.
I'm sure, I don't know, maybe $30 probably a little more, but I feel like they made this thing with a few camera parts and some solder,
That is absolutely correct. Yep.
Yeah. Jacob, what do you think? Is this worth $3.6 million to you?
Since I have so many millions of dollars just lying around, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I like it. I like that it has the little stick that comes out of it that they put the little stick on when they were filming.
That's a good touch. That's a good touch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the real thing. And I guess it just goes to show that, we can talk about all we want. Does people like which trilogy and stuff? The memorabilia of the tangible pieces that were used back then are still so cool. Because I think that I don't know, not to get overly sentimental about it, but this is literally a nostalgia-based platform podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I think that so much stuff was just thrown away back then, and it was so shoddily made, and they didn't know what they were really doing. By Empire, you kind of had an idea, but still, this thing survived decades of wear, and you can still tell what it is. It still looks a little crappy in certain places, but I don't know. Let me ask you, if you did get this thing, and it reminded you of Empire, reminded you of Return of the Jedi, where are you putting it? How in the world do you display a $3.6 million lightsaber hilt?
Well, it gets its own room, right? You have
full room. I agree.
Again, if you have this kind of money, it gets its own room, right? It gets its own humidifier or something that goes around it so it doesn't degrade, or humidor or anything. But yeah,
God.
This would be this. I would hope this would be the centerpiece of your, I don't know, your autograph collection, because you're gonna have more than this, obviously. But this, I mean, I'd hope this would be the centerpiece. So you have more things that are worth, $5 million plus that's in your collection.
What if this is the warm up to your collection?
Yeah, that's actually this actually kind of pisses me off. Like, who has money to do stuff like this? It's like into their collection.
Oh my
That's
God.
not fair.
The revolution is televised. Wes is coming around in real time.
Yeah. All right. I got the vision.
All right.
We have
All right,
you
all right,
walk
hit it.
in. You walk in. It's like a museum. Like it's clean, like white marble floors. Like a nice mood lighting. And there's the pedestal, like a museum like pedestal in the center with some like bulletproof glass on the top. And then you walk up, and it's like Vader's meditation chamber just opens up, and the lightsaber's right inside.
Yes.
Again, I am just so unbelievably rich. You don't understand. It's right over there off the camera. You can't see it right now. Don't just trust me.
I like that.
Lo-fi Imperial March when it opens up, and there's a constant dry ice like smoke machine thing going on every time it opens. You have to have somebody come in and replace that like every hour on the hour. That way it works. Whenever whenever you want it. So you don't ever know when that's going to be open, so you have to have it changed out every hour on the hour.
I feel like I would have that thing. I think we talked about it last week. Maybe like sneak a little magnet thing on it, and then like 3D print Vader's hand, so it's like looks like it's floating and just like going around in a circle. So it's like just held in midair Vader's lightsaber. Although you can't put a magnet on it, because I don't think you want to necessarily alter this in any way. The fact that it's the original, but find a way to levitate. You're paying $3.6 million. You got levitation technology. There's no way. Next up, I got two-prong question for y'all. Number one. This is off the market now. I'm so sorry, guys. It got sold. What piece of Star Wars memorabilia, let's say money's not an option, what would be your dream grail? It'd have to fit in your house, so you can't have like the sail barge.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. Like an
What's your
X-wing.
dream grail of any movie, it can be a TV show. I mean, I don't know. Jacob, you can go to the Battle for Endor props. I know you sicko if you want.
Dude,
but...
I'm so excited. Yeah, no, give me a blurred
costume.
No, I think my dream merch would you were close when you're talking about sail barge, like big things. Is get one of the giant, like, they made like several foot large models for like the motion capture or the MoCo. When they're filming like all the space fights, like they had like models of the Falcon that were this big, like the size of a coffee table. Give me one of those. That'd be sick.
Okay, I love that. Wes, what do you think? You getting a ship too?
I would like the original props, all the original workings of the cantina. Yeah, the cantina bar. Yes.
You just want the bar.
The bar itself in my house.
Bar.
Yes.
Yeah. Wes has got a shed out back. He's gutting it
true.
for the cantina bar.
Yes.
That's true. This is Texas land. I forget this. Okay.
And
I like
that. I mean, it comes with all the costume props, right? And so I get all of that. But I mean, something that is actually like within my grasp, maybe affordable. I don't know. Are some of the original Stormtrooper helmets? They don't have to be like from specific Stormtroopers, but like some of those original Stormtrooper helmets that can easily be displayed. Those would be awesome to have.
Yeah. Oh, you can get the one the guy was wearing when he hit his head on the door. So it's like the little dent on it.
Great. You don't know what that's from? That's from
exactly. That's what you do every time someone comes into your house. I like that. I'll be pretty generic about it. I want the DL-44. I want the Han blaster, man.
I thought you were about to say Bail Organa's wardrobe. I thought that was really ready for it.
No, I'm sure that's got to be in Jimmy Smith's personal closet. I can only assume. There's no way that that could be. But I'll take a bracer. I'll take anything you want to give me, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Boba Fett's original armor would be cool just to have displayed spinning. But I think somebody already owns that.
The Boba Fett armor. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Every time I look at it, like an old photo, it looks like kind of cruddy. When you zoom in, it looks like he's like has like Walmart pants and like knee pads. Like you kind of need it to be in like 480p and a little grainy to like really make it look awesome.
It's hot out there.
Poor guy. All right, before we get off this, one more. I'm gonna expand it even further.
All right.
Outside Star Wars, you're going to one of these LA auctions, any movie props that you'd want to put in your personal collection. We can talk about millions.
Props.
Apparently, Ed Sheeran does this once a year. He gets a big old movie prop on his birthday. So, if you were Sheeran-wise, if we're getting outside of a galaxy, what is like the thing that you'd be like, hell yeah, this rules?
Oh, dude.
This is a hard one. It's so vast.
Okay, I have a couple then.
Okay.
I have a couple.
Okay.
It's all from the same movie. So I would like to have Sylvester Stallone's fedora from Rocky, the original fedora, the black one.
Sick. Sick.
And the boxing gloves that he had hanging on the back of his door in his apartment in Rocky. That would be freaking awesome. Rocky is one of my favorite series of movies, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Hey, you want any argument from me? We went to the movies the other day, and they showed a Fathom Events trailer for Rocky 4 coming back to theaters, and I'm like, hell yeah!
Yeah.
I'm a big Rocky 4 fan, believe it or not. That's sick. All right, Jacob, you going to another franchise as well?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go easy and just say, I will say Gandalf's staff from the Lord of the Rings. Why not?
Love it. Gandalf the
Yeah.
Grey, Gandalf the
You
White.
shall not pass.
Yeah, you doing
Dude,
the big twisty brown one?
Dude, no, I'll go. Yeah, we'll go that one. We'll go the Fellowship one. That way, yeah. So like, UPS dude comes to deliver my brand new Inkstone book that I've ordered. It's all the way from the United Kingdom, and I open the door with the staff just ready to go. It's like, you shall not pass. But if you can, here, I'll sign here. Hold on.
Yes, but don't come this way. It's like a vampire. I'm gonna stick with Jacob here. I'm going Lord of the Rings as well. I'm getting Andor, Flame of the West. I want that
There you go.
giant.
Classic.
I had so many of those like Lord of the Rings sword ordering little pamphlets when I was in middle school and high school to be like, should I order some? And I somehow never ordered them, even though I collected swords as a kid. I don't know if I ever told you guys this. They're like hanging on walls in my parents' house. No Lord of the Rings swords though. And
Dude, you got that Sky Mall, just like I'm ready.
Dude, they came in the DVDs. They're like, you want to buy the swords? It's like, yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yes, I do want that.
Of course they did that.
3.6 mil for Andor, Flame of the West, forged from the shards of Narsil?
How could you
Do you
not?
even lift, bro? Yeah. What Jim Rat, Lord of the Rings. All right. No, never mind. I don't want that. I hate that phrase came out of my mouth. Absolutely gross, but good news, everybody. The new record has been set, so the next time a lightsaber comes up, better have saved up about $4 million. And we'll keep you posted on when those auctions might be. Oh, but to bring us home tonight, everybody, we have a Youtini exclusive for you. We mentioned this earlier in the ad break, but today Inkstone announced that the next book in their Legend series will be Yoda Dark Rendezvous by Sean Stewart. And we have a code to help you get your pre-order in 2 days before the general public, which will be super helpful since these literally always sell out. Before we get to that, quick temperature check, fellas. What do we think about this Yoda release and this new edition? Do we like that this is the next big Inkstone delivery?
I will go easy and say I have not read this book before. I am, I will say I've heard it's a sleeper hit. Jared from Legends Look Back I know and Trev will heap praises on Dark Rendezvous. I've only heard good things about it, but I've not read it.
Yeah.
I also have not read it.
Too.
And this is a nice little nudge to get me to read it for the next one, for my next book that I'm going to pick up, because I'm already on one. I'm already deep into Mask of Fear.
Yep, you did it.
Great pick. Yep.
Reign of the Empire, Mask of Fear. A lot of words.
Yeah, it's like I was going through the Audible chapters, and I was like, I've been listening to this for quite a long time. How much more do I have left? And I was like, oh my God, I have the rest of the year left to read this book. It is so long, or listen to the book. So, anyways, I am looking for a Legends title to pick up next. So, hey, what's better than this? And plus, I get a discount, you say?
Nope, I do not.
Okay.
I absolutely do not. But you get a copy. It's what I think is what it is.
Well, here's the thing, Wes. You don't get a discount because you're just a normal guy. I get a discount as a loyal subscriber of the Inks. Dude, this is actually not a paid sponsorship.
This is not
I'm
part of
a
the paid
member.
sponsorship.
This is entirely on me. I spend extra money to be a part of the Inkstone subscriber box, which gives me 10% off all other releases from Inkstone. So
Exactly. Including the future Redwall release, which they're going to be doing.
dude, that looks so sick. Yeah.
Dude, I was a huge Redwall kid. It was like it's still peak. It got me into everything, and I can't believe that they're doing that. So that's going to be dangerous. For me, I will go 3 for 3 and say I have not read Yoda Dark Rendezvous either. It's on the shelf. It's been on the shelf for years. But I've also heard it's a good sleeper hit, and I like the new cover. It's very simple. It's Yoda. This is the Essential Legends Collection cover. And I like that the foiling for this one is just Yoda's lightsaber. Like, they've been doing a lot of good, just classic nods to it. Yoda's lightsaber is a great design. If you didn't like it when it came out in Attack of the Clones, you're boring. And, of course, sprayed edges, big green, big green energy. This is our boy.
It really stands out.
Yoda.
It really stands out, especially because you're like, once you see green, it either has to be Yoda or it has to be Luke's lightsaber. Like, either or.
Exactly. And I do believe, keep an eye on the Legends Look Back feed, by the way. We mentioned Jared over there. A few of them have read it so far. I don't remember if they either have a discussion coming up about it or something else. But Yoda Dark Rendezvous fans, this is a cryptic tease. Go check out Legends Look Back because they always love talking about this. Now, most importantly, if you did not hear our ad at the beginning, or if you're listening to us on our community and you have an ad-free listening, let me tell you how you can get this copy. Because we love Inkstone. We've been partnering them for a bit. You may have seen the articles on the site. We've talked about them on the show, on our Instagram. We love what they're doing, but the problem is they're so good that it is hard to get their books if you're not there on the day of release. And how Inkstone works is they put out their books in certain tiers. If you ordered previous Star Wars books, you get access to ordering on a certain day. If you're a part of their newsletter, you get a certain day. And if you're general access, you can usually get a copy, but you got to be really, really quick, and it's not a guarantee. So if you're just a part of the general public, you can order Yoda Dark Rendezvous from Inkstone on September 22nd. But as a Youtini member, you can go to inkstonebooks.com on the 20th, 2 days early, and use code Youtini Yoda with an exclamation point. The O's are zeros, the I's are ones. Easiest way to figure that out is to go to our site. We have ads all over the site showing the code. We have an article that has the code in it with links for you, because we want to make sure you can get this book, because you can either be an awesome subscriber like Jacob and be more important than the rest of us, or you can make sure that you get your book coming up. And also, the more of these that they sell at Inkstone, the more of them we get. It seems like a pretty simple scenario, right? I mean, like, we want more of these. Let's do it.
Yes. I have a bone to pick with everybody listening and the wider population. Why is Revenge of the Sith 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition still able to pre-order? Because I pre-ordered this months ago, and you can still pre-order it. So I think it should be out of stock. I think it should be rare.
I'll tell you why.
Because they're making a whole bunch.
No, because this is they are a vendor. It is not an exclusive. This is just
okay.
Same when you get a Barnes & Noble.
Not only is it, so quick clarification, Wes, if you're on Inkstone and you see this book, they are selling the UK edition. The one you probably ordered is the US edition. They are slightly different. So I again, I love Inkstone. This isn't their book, so I'm not throwing shade on them. I like the US version better of these two deluxe editions. But yeah, if you live in the UK, or if you want to get a UK version for whatever, you're a completionist, then you can get it from Inkstone too. So it's not like it is a mass produced. It's not like a specialty thing.
Another thing that I noticed on here, but Inkstone, this is the first time I've actually delved into their website. A lot of them, actually all of them, you can get them signed, and they're individually numbered. That is freaking cool.
Yeah, the ELCs are numbered. The canon books signed but not numbered. So, very cool. I will say, on the numbering front and on the ELC front, like Eric said earlier, they've been selling out a ton, which, it's great that people want these. It's awesome. The Yoda Dark Rendezvous is 750 copies, and typically the ELCs up until this point have been 500. So it's nice that they got it 50% more on this run, I think, which is hopefully a good sign. Hopefully it's a little easier for some people to get a hold of it. And again, you can use that code on the 20th for the Youtini access, and hopefully you get a better job getting this before it's sold out, like all the others have.
Put that on my
And I will
calendar.
also, yeah, and I'll also say because we're working with Inkstone here, Youtini does not get a cut of these particular books that are sold. This is not like a commission-based thing. We don't have a late. We've been working with Inkstone, and we wanted to make sure that if our community wants these books, and y'all can get them. And like Jacob said, we're already at 750. Let's bump Inkstone up to 1,000 for next year. Like, the more we get of these, the more they get in order. This is an independent publisher that's doing great work in the Star Wars space. We're very happy to be partnering with them in a number of different ways. But yeah, get those copies, make those bookshelves pretty, and get your Yoda Dark Rendezvous on later in the year. Man, all right. Gosh, we made it all through that show and didn't even mention Star Wars Unlimited. Oh, no!
I
There
was
it is.
just going to say
There it
the
is.
Inkstone books are like the Star Wars Unlimited prestige or showcases of regular books.
Oh, man.
I tried.
Speaking of the Cosmic Force, if you want your real Star Wars Unlimited sicko talk, we're in the presence of a judge, Wes. I don't know if you remember this.
Yes.
Jacob is a certified Star Wars Unlimited judge.
This is true.
Yes, Your
Cosmic
Honor.
Force
Your
has
Honor.
two judges. Yeah.
That's right. Since we don't have you too often, Jacob, let me ask you, for the
boy.
folks that missed the Star Wars Unlimited talk, what is your brief opinion on spoiler season for the next sets thus far? What are your initial impressions?
My brief thoughts. I'm interested. I like the game. Like, plot seems like a super interesting mechanic. Action cheating is very valuable in games like this, and it could be dangerous. We'll see how it all plays out. It's very cool that the design seems to be focused on longer term games, and I think that's gonna be cool in a limited environment. I am unsure how it'll interact with the rest of the card pool. Like, if you were trying to go 10, 12 turns before you can do anything, you might just get, the doors beat off you by an aggro deck. We'll see. I don't know. It remains to be seen. But hey,
All right.
shout out. One real quick
Hit it.
book comic tie-in. They revealed last week some art of Governor Price from Rebels, but it was a look
Yes!
of Governor Price specifically from the comic adaptation of the Thrawn novel. So that's sick. We love that.
It is the most sicko stuff over there at Star Wars Unlimited for some of these art pulls. I mean, if you've ever wanted to have a trading card game that features the Legacy Run, it's in there. It does exist.
Our girl, Avar Chris.
Our girl, Avar Chris, Jacob just got a showcase right before we got on here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait. We absolutely have to have you on for more of that stuff when it gets revealed. And there you go, everybody. We couldn't make it through a whole week without talking about our incredible obsession. Jacob, thank you so much for hanging out with us this week. And everybody, of course, make sure you go to youtini.com. Make sure you stay up to date with all things going on in Star Wars. Follow us on all social medias and subscribe to the Cosmic Force for all your comic booking needs. But everybody, that's going to do it for us here at the Youtini Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back next week to keep you up to date with everything going on in Star Wars. Until then, have a phenomenal week. Go Cowboys, go Panthers. And as always, may the Force be with you.